Once upon a time, in a small village nestled between rolling hills and lush forests, there lived two boys whose paths were as different as night and day. This village, though humble and modest, was filled with the laughter and warmth of its inhabitants, each contributing to the close-knit community in their unique ways. The first boy, named Alaric, was the son of the wealthiest family in the village. The Devereux family had owned vast lands and properties for generations, amassing wealth and prestige. Their grand mansion stood on a hill, overlooking the entire village, a constant reminder of their affluence. Alaric was a handsome boy with golden hair and bright blue eyes, always dressed in the finest clothes that money could buy. His days were filled with luxuries and privileges that most villagers could only dream of. He had private tutors, attended the best schools in the nearby town, and never wanted for anything. Despite his opulent upbringing, Alaric was a kind-hearted boy. He never flaunted his wealth or looked down on others. He often watched the village children playing together and longed to join them. Yet his social status and the expectations of his family kept him at a distance. In stark contrast to Alaric was Thorn, the poor boy who lived on the outskirts of the village. Thorn's family had fallen on hard times, struggling to make ends meet after a series of unfortunate events. His father, once a skilled blacksmith, had lost his workshop in a fire, and his mother worked tirelessly as a seamstress to support the family. Thorn, with his tattered clothes and perpetually dirty face, was often seen helping his mother or foraging in the forest for food. Despite their hardships, Thorn's family shared a deep bond of love and resilience. Thorn was a boy with dark, unruly hair and piercing green eyes that seemed to see through the world's superficialities. He was clever and resourceful, always finding ways to bring a smile to his mother's tired face. His greatest wish was to ease his family's burdens and see them happy. One fateful day, as Alaric wandered near the edge of his family's vast estate, he heard a commotion coming from the forest. Curiosity piqued, he followed the sounds until he stumbled upon Thorn, who was struggling to free a rabbit caught in a snare. Alaric, having never seen a trap like this, watched in fascination as Thorn skillfully released the frightened animal and set it free. "That was amazing," Alaric said, stepping forward. "How did you know how to do that?" Thorn looked up, surprised to see the rich boy standing before him. "I've had to learn a lot of things to survive," he replied simply. A bond was formed in that moment, bridging the gap between their two worlds. Alaric and Thorn began to spend more time together, meeting secretly in the forest where they shared stories and adventures. Alaric was amazed by Thorn's knowledge of the wilderness, and Thorn was intrigued by the glimpses of luxury that Alaric described. As their friendship grew, they learned from each other. Alaric taught Thorn about history, science, and the wonders of books, while Thorn showed Alaric how to track animals, find edible plants, and navigate the forest. They became inseparable, finding solace in their secret meetings away from the prying eyes of the villagers and Alaric's disapproving family. One day, while exploring deeper into the forest than ever before, the boys stumbled upon an old, abandoned cottage. Overgrown with vines and partially hidden by the dense foliage, it looked like something out of a fairy tale. Inside, they found remnants of a life once lived: dusty books, broken furniture, and forgotten trinkets. It became their hideout, a place where they could dream and plan their futures without the weight of their respective worlds bearing down on them. As time passed, the boys' friendship faced challenges. Alaric's family began to notice his frequent absences and questioned his strange new interests. They expected him to uphold the family name and prepare for his future responsibilities. Thorn, on the other hand, faced scorn from some villagers who resented the rich boy's influence on him. Yet the boys remained steadfast, their bond growing stronger with each passing day. One particularly harsh winter, Thorn's family found themselves on the brink of starvation. The villagers did what they could, but their resources were limited. Desperate to help his friend, Alaric devised a plan. He began sneaking food and supplies from his family's storeroom, carefully avoiding detection. Every night he would meet Thorn at their secret hideout, handing over the precious goods. Eventually, Alaric's actions did not go unnoticed. His father, a stern and proud man, discovered the missing supplies and confronted Alaric. When the truth came out, Alaric's father was furious. He forbade Alaric from seeing Thorn and warned him of the consequences of disobeying. But Alaric, emboldened by his friendship and the sense of purpose it gave him, stood his ground. "Thorn and his family need our help," Alaric argued. "They are our neighbors and we have more than enough to share. How can we turn a blind eye to their suffering?" Alaric's father, though angry, was taken aback by his son's conviction. He had always seen his wealth as a symbol of their family's superiority, but Alaric's words planted a seed of doubt in his mind. Meanwhile, Thorn, aware of the risk Alaric was taking, felt a deep sense of gratitude and responsibility. He knew that their friendship had to be more than just a secret bond, it had to be a force for change. The turning point came when a severe storm hit the village, causing widespread damage. Homes were destroyed, including Thorn's already fragile dwelling. Alaric's family mansion, built to withstand such events, remained unscathed. Seeing the devastation, Alaric's father finally understood the precariousness of life and the value of community. In the days that followed, the Devereux family, led by Alaric's insistence, opened their doors to the villagers. They provided shelter, food, and medical supplies to those in need. Alaric and Thorn worked tirelessly side by side, helping to rebuild homes and restore hope. Their friendship, once a secret, became a symbol of unity and compassion. The villagers, witnessing the transformation, began to change their attitudes as well. The divide between rich and poor started to fade as everyone came together to rebuild their village. Alaric's father, humbled by the experience, realized that true wealth lay not in material possessions, but in the strength of community and the kindness of the human spirit. Years passed, and the village flourished. Alaric and Thorn, now young men, remained the best of friends. They continued to learn from each other, their bond an enduring testament to the power of friendship and empathy. The old cottage in the forest, once their secret hideout, became a place of legend, a reminder of how two boys from different worlds changed the heart of a village. And so, in that small village nestled between rolling hills and lush forests, the story of Alaric and Thorn was told for generations. It became a beacon of hope, teaching that no matter how different our lives may be, understanding and compassion can bridge any divide.